Um, Welcome to another week. So I got a new stone because I seem to break all of mine, and it's got quartz, black onyx, and then I forget what this blue stone is, but it's clarity. It's for clarity, and it corresponds with the throat chakra, the third eye, and the crown chakra. And I was listening to a meditation last night, and it was for chakra clearing and meditation for like bedtime. And the interesting thing was that when it was talking about the third eye and the pineal gland, which is what the third eye corresponds to, it talks about your third eye and basically the visions that you see and the things that that you can see below the surface, or the things that you project that aren't there. Now, I've talked a lot about projections because we do it a lot. Everyone does. And that comes from that blocked third eye. So when you think you're seeing something that is not there, that is a projection. That is your own consciousness projecting upon another person. When your third eye is open and you're actively able to see another level or another meaning to a situation, that is when you are able to use your intuition properly. And it's really hard sometimes to distinguish the difference between the two. And I think that comes to a lot of different relationships as well. Sorry if there's a cut. I had to get that cat butt out of it because she wouldn't leave me alone. It's because she loves me. And, I think that's why it's so difficult for us to leave certain situations, because there's so many levels of personal understanding, outside projection, emotional understanding, and emotional projection onto 50 different layers of a situation, because relationships are complex. They have levels. There's never just a cut and dry viewpoint of a relationship, which is why the only people who can really deal with what's going on in a relationship are the two people. And they really should. However, sometimes that relationship gets projected outwardly, and people try to rely on other people and outside circumstances and situations to help them either fix, leave, or bolster their relationship. Now, the only person who can really help a relationship is a trained counselor, and the only way they can help is to offer a outside balanced perspective. Now, they get paid, adequately, and so people find that adequately to hire, depending on how much they charge. That's why people usually turn to their friends and their parents and people who they think have a certain amount of wisdom on the subject. But you can sometimes find yourself in a situation where someone is giving you not great advice. Sometimes people turn to tarot readers and psychics. Now, the idea with that is that most tarot readings, especially like ones like these, are very general. And so when you are looking at the reading, you have to take a perspective that is outside, and we can project a lot of what we want onto a tarot reading, a situation, but the best way to receive one is to look at all the different ways that the cards can apply. and each card has a different meaning, various meanings when it comes to reversed or upright. Some don't read reversed cards, some do. That just depends on the reader. So the tarot cards, they are spiritually connected, but they're also a guide. They're not a hard and fast rule to the situation. And usually pulling one card is a good way to do it, but to get an entire context of a situation, you have to usually lay it out in a certain type of spread that gives the cards meaning. And that will allow for a better perspective. But getting personal readings is the ultimate way to get something that truly pertains to a situation. And I really didn't mean to go off on this, but I feel like that was a really good way to go. Because I feel like right now, a lot of people are trying to end certain things, and they're stuck and mired in a situation that they just don't know how to get out of. And, you know, there's the voice of reason that says, I should not be in this situation. This is not a good thing. I don't want to be here. But I don't know how to get out because I built myself into this little nook and cranny, and there's no escape. There's no escape valve. And everything around you is constantly telling you it's okay or it's fine, because we build ourselves, not only do we build ourselves into situations where there are no escape valves, but we surround ourselves with yes people to validate our choices and thoughts. And whether they are good thoughts or bad thoughts, that's, you know, subjective. So the most important thing is to trust your inner wisdom, the voice inside you that says, this is what I really want, this is what I really need, and this is where I need to be. And regardless of how you will make others feel around you, you must listen to that. Because, and I was reading this thing about being people being offended, and it is just a feeling. It is a feeling that people feel, and a projection as well. And it was, what was it? Somebody was saying, you should give me some money. Well, okay, do you have a knife? Do you have a gun? No, I just think you should give me some money. Otherwise, I'm going to be offended. And it's kind of the situation where the offense is all on that person, and you don't have to give them money, even though they want you to, but that's just the projection that they're putting out there, and they make you feel guilty through their projection, because otherwise they would be offended, and you don't want to offend them for certain emotional reasons they might have. Now, this is totally, the situation is totally different from somebody who's on the street versus somebody who is a very close, tight-knit, codependent friend. They can have similar reactions, though, because we do have a certain feeling of guilt for people who are homeless, who are down on the street on their luck. Although we do have certain organizations that we try to counteract that. So it's kind of that mixed bag. It's like, where does that fall on the spectrum of, do I need to deal with this? Is this my personal problem, or is this your personal problem? And what are the emotional components and the other layers on top? Which is why situations can get very, very complicated. So I'm going to pull some cards. I think I've gotten enough into that. I feel like there's just so many complexities and complex relationships happening right now. We kind of, after this solar eclipse, it kind of was a tipping point. Was it? No. It was a solar and lunar eclipse, but it was definitely a tipping point where people are starting to see things differently. And over the next 6 months, we are going to start seeing the changes that it brought out shift and happen. Because a solar eclipse lasts over the span of 6 months, because a normal moon cycle, to a year actually, a normal moon cycle can last about a month to about 3 to 6 months, depending on how potent those the manifestations are. A solar eclipse is 6 months to a year because it's so powerful that something like that can't just manifest or break apart in a month or 2 months or 3 months. It's going to take some time. So, whatever you have been working on or projecting or manifesting, and projecting is in a good way, not I'm projecting this onto you, but what you are trying to hope and create in a situation, which then also has 15 other factors to it because you can't control other people. Okay. I wonder if we'll get doubles again like we did last week. That was insane. All of those justice cards. Holy crap. And I'm sitting next to my justice, where we have the heart and we have the head. I think it's part of that is also when you're trying to manifest things in your life is detachment, because knowing that it's not going to happen right away and then kind of expecting things to just pop up. We are such an instant type of society. We need things to happen like now, like otherwise we're just going to die. And fine wine, good sauce, good relationships, investments, they all take time. They all take, that one jumped out too. I'll just put that one on there. They take, planning. They take a certain amount of finesse that can only be achieved with the time it takes to put the effort into those kind of relationships, or sauces or wines, where it's going to take time and just the flow of the universe. My other cat came in. So, being at peace with oneself and the surroundings at the moment, I think, is the most important thing for proper manifestation, because if our energy is super chaotic, or if our mind processes are super chaotic, which contributes into the energy, then we're going to improperly manifest things. We're not going to be able to get exactly what we want, because what you're putting out there is what you're going to attract. So if you're fearful, or if you think that you have no options or no hope, then that's what you're going to get. If you feel like you're just damaged goods and nobody's ever going to love you and your life is terrible, then you're probably not going to attract anybody into your life, or you're going to attract people who feel the same way, and then you're going to continue to vibrate on that same level. Okay, 2 more. If you don't feel sexy, if you're like, oh, I'm not sexy, then that's kind of what you're gonna put out there, and people are gonna be like, oh, well, yeah. Anyways, okay. So, okay, we got justice again. Hey now, hey now. What are reversals? Man, we got some blocked energy this week. Okay. So, for the beginning of the week, we have the Seven of Wands, we have the Six of Swords, and we have the Four of Swords. So we are headed kind of into we're moving forward kind of into a meditation about ourselves and our lives and our situation. Kind of, so with the Seven of Wands is kind of like feeling like you're up against a lot of things, or you're having to hold your ground. Lots of things are coming at you. People are got their wands and they're acting and they're doing stuff. You kind of feel like you're on trial, or you're, and it's just there's too much going on, and you feel like there's I'm being attacked, but it's upright, so it seems like you're kind of holding your ground in a certain way. Then we have the Six of Swords, which is all about your mental movement forward, and your thoughts are progressing, and you're starting to feel like you have the ability to move past a situation that may have been rough or difficult or stressful, or feeling like you're being verbally attacked or abused. And the Four of Swords reversed can talk about like maybe even like an illness or an ailment of some sort, like an injury. But it also just speaks of general rest, recuperation, and meditation. It's the Minor Arcana Hermit card, and it's just talking about, making sure that after you have a burst of information coming at you, or a lot of things, people coming at you, that you don't just continue on that wavelength, but you stop and you start to, rethink kind of what is going on. Why are you thinking of that in that way? Is this how I want to continue thinking about this situation, or is this just based off of an emotional response that I'm having at the moment? So it seems like some stuff is going to come at you, and you're going to have to kind of go forward and then pull back, which requires is something that we are required to do in life. I like to think of life kind of as chess, where you have certain players that can go in certain positions, and they only go that way, and some people they go in an L shape, and some people can go all over the board like the queen. And I think it's very accurate, because we have to realize some people can only go in one direction, and because they have certain ways or mental processes about them that they are, they live in, and they are refusing to move forward or progress because of something, that some emotional or mental issue that they've had that they just cannot move past, because not everybody has the ability to do that. It takes a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of patience, and it takes a lot of self-love to do so. So knowing who you're up against, up against makes it sound like battle, even though we do have the battle-ish kind of card. It's just knowing who you're dealing with and their kind of patterns and understandings of life can help you better detach from that situation, knowing that, okay, well, this person is not going to get over this certain situation or the way that they are, so I have to kind of choose something better for myself, because my life is not their life, and there are certain times when we veer apart from people because they are no longer moving in the direction that we want to move in. So for the middle of the week, we have the Moon card reversed. So things could be kind of emotional in the middle of the week, but very confusing and very kind of light and dark and up and down and moving around, and it's coupled with the Eight of Cups. So there might be a situation where you are leaving, moving on from an emotional time, emotional baggage, emotional understanding. We also have the Hangman in reverse, which is all about leaving. It's you've made a decision. You've spent time in your hermited state. You've looked at all the different perspectives, because the Hangman, he turns around, he's suspended so that he cannot move or do anything except for think and look at things in different perspectives. So when he is when he is upside down, he's actually turned right back around. So then he's seen things in the opposite perspective, but then he's come full circle and can make a educated choice about both sides of a situation. So it seems like it seems to be that it'll be clear, but emotionally unclear. So there will be, and the Eight of Cups talks about going on a spiritual journey or going on a journey of some sort, because we have it in the upright position, and with the Eight of Cups, it's a situation where you're hoping to get to the Ten of Cups. You're hoping for this very happy, wonderful situation, but it may not have given you, or it may not get you to the Ten of Cups, which is why you've decided that you have to leave. There's not going to be any more cups coming. It no longer is bearing any more similarity to your path, or there's no more cups to be filled. And it can be painful, because 8 cups is a lot of cups, but it's not going to get you to the 9 of Cups or even the 10 of Cups. So it's the emotions can run high and be kind of wishy-washy or under the surface, because when moving on, you kind of have to just leave the cups and let them go, and you can't hold on to it. But we still have to kind of live our traditional normal lives and not allow everything to just blow up because we've decided to make a different path for ourselves, make a change. So for the end of the week, we have the Ace of Pentacles reversed, we have the Six of Rods reversed, and we have the Two of Cups reversed. So it seems that there is a relationship between two people that is affected by this. Now, it looks like something is trying to start, but it's not quite successful. It's not able to start, and because there is something blocking it, and I think it is this past thing that has been left, because you can't just jump right into something new. You can't just drop one sack and pick up another. I mean, you can, but it's a metaphor for a relationship. There's so much in that sack that you kind of need a break. You need time to heal, to rest, before you can move on and decide, hey, I want to pick up another bag and I want to start new. Normally, that's why the Fool is carrying such a small little sack, because he is going on a journey without all that baggage, without all the stuff that he's been carrying from the previous baggages and relationships and paths, because it is a new path. It does not need or require any of the old things. You have all the wisdom and the understanding but you don't need any of the stuff with you because you already have it up here. It's filed away in the desktop of your mind. So the overall theme of this week is justice, and that means the karmic scales are balanced. Justice does not wish for one thing over another. It just sees what has been in balance and puts it back into balance. So if you have been getting away with something that you thought you would never get caught for, you might have to pay the price now. And it could be even steeper, because depending on how deep you've been digging and covering that up, balance. And so what we have here is this 5 of rods and the Knight of Pentacles reversed. So it could be somebody who has been slacking off at work and maybe they're going to get fired, or it could be somebody, an earth sign, who hasn't really been putting a lot of energy into a certain project that now is being overshadowed by other people in the arena of people, fighting or trying to be competitive. Because if you are, not progressing towards something and resting on your laurels, which the 6 of rods can mean, is when reversed, is you rested on your laurels too long and you actually didn't win. You thought you were going to win, and you just, because they're right next to each other, and when the card above it is reversed, it usually points back to the card behind it. So if you have been trying to create something, to do something, but you have been putting the energy towards it, most likely you're not going to be successful. Most likely you're not going to complete the task. You have to put all the certain amount of energies that you need into focused areas to get something completed. That is why when we spread ourselves far too thin in life, we are not going to see results in any avenue, because we only have a certain amount of energy. Some people have more energy than others, but some people have more precise energies for certain things, which is why it's really hard to compare people in success value in that kind of monetary way, where there's only one way to success, because some people are better at certain things, very detailed, fine, just this thing, and that's what they're just wonderful at, but they would be crap at trying to do something else. And some people, they're very good at kind of doing a few different things, and that's how their energy is spread out. But it's not spread too thin, because if they try to, most of the times if they say, oh, I'm really good at all these 5 things that I can do, but if I try to do these 3 more because I think I'm so good at that, then I'm going to fail at all of them because I've spread myself far too thin. And then we have the 9 of Wands reversed. So it seems as if we kind of feel like everything is just weighed us down. Either we're letting we're just not able to continue on. We have to just let everything go. We feel kind of wounded. Too many things have come at us and we just can't keep going. Or, we just drop all of our all the things, and we just kind of walk away from something, which seems to be the theme of this week. Walking away and not completing something, and just having to kind of realize that maybe we've spread ourselves too thin. Maybe the justices have settled, and we are the loser. It's not applying for everybody, because there are winners and there are losers. So maybe someone else has won. Or maybe by letting down our guard, we do end up winning. Maybe because the 6 of Rods reverse can also be somebody coming back and saying, or somebody being like, hey, I totally messed up. I am sorry. And eating crow. And that's another thing. And the funny thing is sometimes when we think we're losing, depending on the perspective, we are actually winning in a different way. We we may not win a certain way that we wanted to, but we get something completely different. You get a learned perspective. You say, okay, well, I didn't get this job, or this person didn't want to be with me because I didn't pay any attention to them, and I thought that we had something going, but I just kind of blew them off all the time. And then they started dating someone else. But then we realize, but I won because maybe I wasn't meant for that job, or maybe this is not what I needed in my life right now. Maybe what I need is to just look at my own stuff and not spread myself continually too thin. What I needed to do was, um, be focused more so on myself. I think a lot of people try to just move from one backpack to the next, and it's very important to take a break, take a breather, and set down all those sticks, all those wands. Okay, so we're getting up here, so I am going to read the relationship cards quickly. So we have the Seven of Cups being the overall theme, which makes sense because that's, we have the Eight of Cups. Seven of Cups are all these choices, all these options, overwhelming, kind of, we don't really know what we're going to choose. And it's interesting because right here we have, if you can see, there is the woman, but there's somebody is whispering into their ear, and it's kind of somebody who's trying to influence. They're like trying to help them make a choice, but the only person who can help you make a choice is you. Everything looks good, kind of. Well, I don't know about the skull, but depends on. Or there's a snake in there too. But ultimately, you have to make the choice of what you need and what you want to do. We also have the Eight of Cups reversed, so it looks like some people are going to be leaving a relationship, which is kind of what the cards said too. And the Star in reverse, or Grace in reverse, kind of gives us the idea that maybe it's really hard for us to make this choice or get out of our emotional set because we lack the vision of anything great happening beyond that. But good things are to come. I mean, if we are opening our minds and our eyes and our hearts to believe that something good will come, that we're not projecting doom and gloom, that it can. And then we have the King of Cups reversed, which can be somebody who is just oversought with their emotional state, somebody who just is addicted to the same old thing because they don't see a better value, a better life, a better understanding beyond what they have in front of them. They feel trapped, and so they kind of just overindulge, drink and booze and womanize and distract themselves from the actual problem. It kind of seems like somebody wants to leave a situation for another situation, either being alone or being with another person, which I don't, you can't really do that. But they don't see that there is any hope. And so they kind of feel stuck, and they feel like trapped in this situation, and they just are addicted. This is the card of addictions too, because the King of Cups, he chases the highs, and then he, gets really negative at the lows, which turns him upside down. And he's unbalanced. So we have, for this one though, and we have another man, we have all these men, it's just, I don't know, masculine energy. We have a hidden gift. So sadness, an ending, and a new beginning. So it seems as if we are picking up a new backpack and going on a new journey. Whether that is with another person or just by ourselves, that is very unclear, because it doesn't seem like there's another person. It just seems like you're deciding to do something different. Let's see. The angel featured on this card reflects the sadness that you feel at the present or may experience sometime in the coming weeks. Something you cherish has or may has come to an end soon. It is human nature to fear change and be saddened when something we love or are emotionally attached to ends. However, this card has a positive side, reminding you that every ending heralds a new beginning. This is simply the law of nature. Nothing is ever truly lost. Things simply transform. New beginnings are in store for you, brighter and lighter than ever. There is a hidden gift attached to this event. When the timing is right, you will receive a precious gift either in the form of positive news, a new revelation, or an unexpected turn of events that turns out to be in your favor. Whatever it turns into, it will be, without a doubt, it'll warm your heart and fill you with joy. In the meantime, be aware of the love that surrounds you. Allow it into your heart and trust. The universe is guiding events to unfold in a certain way that is for your highest good. I trust that all is unfolding for my highest good. Love and light fills my heart. I give thanks for the blessings I receive. Every ending marks a new beginning. All lives eternally in my heart. And let's see. In order for you to heal a relationship with another, you must first heal the relationship you have with yourself. Forgive yourself, accept yourself, and love yourself. Your spiritual awareness is growing, and so too is your sexuality. Sensuality is heightened, and this has a magical effect on the one that you love. A sacred union is reborn. Love is in the present moment. And this can be with yourself. Surrender all that no longer serves you. Let all that remains buried in your heart come to the surface and be healed. Let there be space for new energies to enter and a new beginning to transform lightness into dark, or darkness into light. Oops. Trust in the healing power of love, for it is only through love and that happiness is possible. Observe all that transpires, but do not get emotionally attached. The storm will clear. You can be of assistance to the one you love only if you remain positive. A great love life requires intimacy, trust, and the ability to share your feelings. Express your doubts and fears, your likes and dislikes. Talk openly, listen, be present. Always with an open heart and mind. All right, so with that, I will leave you. I hope this week finds you well and you take time to reflect and realize that you can step out of cycles. You are not locked up in a corner. There is always an exit strategy. It may not be what you think. You may lose people along the way. You may lose situations, but it'll all be for your highest good. Bye.